Hey you guys, the other day whenever I was sharing with you my journal that I created for my Secret Squirrel I sister, I showed you guys these pockets that had the tags in them, and I promised you a video on how I made these. So let's get started. What you want to start out with is, I have a sample here to show you. I bought these sleeves that are the trading card sleeves that you put baseball cards in, and I use them to house my Studio G stamps. So I have a bunch of them, and I got to looking at it the other day and I was like, oh my goodness, that would be so cute in this book, but I had to find a way to cut it down. So this is what I did. I took one of these sleeves, and they're usually in rows of 3 by 3. So in between each pocket is a perforated line where the pockets are kind of sealed, they're pre-sealed. So if you start at the top of your bag and you trim off just past the dotted line here, and then this wasn't going to work with my book, you know, as far as doing it width-wise, because my book is 8.5 inches deep by, long by 5.5 inches wide. So what I did was I went ahead and cut this off so that I don't need this binding because it's not going to work. So I just trimmed this off too. Again, staying to the right of the perforated line and just staying to, just to the bottom of the perforated line here. And then what I got was this sleeve that basically has 3 rows of these. Then I took some scrap paper that was, when you're trimming the paper down, you always have these little pieces that are long like this. And I was looking at them going, oh, these would totally work for this project. So what I'm going to do is basically just glue this inside here and use this as my spine. So I want this side to be out, and I want this side to probably be on the binding edge because I really like the way this looks. So you got to do some thinking in this, or you really do. The Smashbook stuff isn't as easy as they think. So basically my holes are going to be here, and I'm paying attention to the pattern of my paper, knowing that I'm going to use my bind it all to bind it right down this side right here. So I'm going to take this, line it up where I want it, and I'm going to flip it over. Now, on the back, what you want to make sure is that the sum of this and this is not greater than the width of your book. So my book, like I said, was 5.5 inches wide. So when you put these two together, you want to make sure, even with the tag sticking out, you're not any deeper than 5.5 inches wide. So basically, I'm going to line this up where I want it. Now, this bag is only 8.25 inches wide, but again, my book is 8.5. So what I did was I cut my strips at 8.5 because realizing that it makes it easier for binding if everything's the same size on the binding edge. So I'm just going to make sure that I center my bag in between these two, and it doesn't matter how deep I go. Obviously, the shallower you are with this, the more of this clear plastic that's going to show, because if you went all the way to the edge, you'd only get about that much of it to show. So I want to stick kind of close to the edge, but far enough away to where I can still glue it down. So I'm going to just take that, and I'm going to get some masking tape, get it lined up where you want it. Just get a strip of masking tape, preferably some that is about roughly the same size as your plastic piece. So I'm going to cut it about right there. You can be shy just a little bit. You just want to make sure it's good adhered down. You can use any kind of tape. I just prefer the masking tape for this because it holds it in place while I get my sturdier glue out. Okay, there you go. Then you're going to take this flap and fold it back the other way. And this time I'm going to take my ATG glue and just run a strip right down here. And basically that's going to keep my bag from flopping back and forth, and it's going to secure it to the flap. So it's good. It's on there. We're pretty much done. The only thing is I don't, from this side, they're done. I just don't want to see that tape and all this kind of ugly on the other side. See? Look how cute that is. Okay, so on this side, all I did was decide which side you want out, and if you want the opposite side out, make sure it's going in the right direction if it has print on it. you know, and you could do this side too, I guess, make a match, but I like my pages to look different from both sides, from both directions. And basically, you're just gonna do the same thing. Take your ATG gun, you're gonna run it right down here, and I'm gonna put several long strips of this on here. It's probably overkill, but I don't want this to come loose because it's gonna get a lot of wear and tear pulling these tags in and out. So figure out which orientation you want. I want my script going in the right direction. I'm gonna line up, making sure I stay straight. But if you have to cheat a side, cheat the spine side because you can cut that down. But look at that. Look at how perfect that is. Now, to be honest with you, my tags, see, you want to make sure you don't have any, you know, overlapping right here where you see the other side. So you really want to make sure this is straight coming across the spine. Now, my tags that I put in here are the standard shipping tags, you know, just the regular shipping tags that come, you know, I don't know what size they are. I can measure them for you real quick. Hang on. If I could find my ruler, I lost. These are just the 2 3/8 by 4 1/2. So basically what I did was I just cut a 1/2 inch off the bottom of them so that they're 4 inches, so that whenever I put them into the sleeve, they're not sticking out a huge amount. They're still, you know, they're sticking out, but they're not, it's not like sticking out of the binding of my book, because remember, I only had 5 1/2 inches this way. So anyway, I hope this is clear, and I hope that you understand what all the process was on this. And then also another idea for you, same concept, same exact thing, start paying attention to photo sleeves, because you know, these are 4x6, another great size for a smash book. The only thing is, to me, these are ugly, and if I'm going to use my bind-it all, sometimes it's not real good with this plastic. Again, just create these little borders and put them here on the spine, and you know, you can also flip it this way, because these are 6 inches this way. You could cut this down to, you know, 5 inches this way and bind it here, and you could have something that's going landscape, or you could, you know, rebind it this way to make it portrait. So anyway, just giving you something else to think about, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.